I'm Steve Wohlenhaus. This is Anatomy of Success, and this week, to be more consistent, 7 things will help improve success. Let's get started. Again, this is Anatomy of Success, the podcast where we talk about my 4 tenets of equanimity: better health, healthy relationships, healthy intimate relationships, and more satisfying work. So many people today are leaping into becoming entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and we love it here because that's one of the things we focus on at aos.academy. And by the way, if you haven't come to the new website, we encourage you to do so. There's a ton of valuable resources that elaborate in much greater detail on the philosophy we embrace here that works unequivocally because I've applied it for 4 decades, and my company Weatherology is the world leader in audio weather dissemination and has been for 4 decades. So when it comes to being an entrepreneur and business success, we do have the upper hand because we've actually created something that is highly unusual. Most businesses fail, and even those that do, very few become profitable. And of those businesses, you'd be amazed at after 10 years how many vanish. 4 decades, it's a long time. I'd like to help you develop your dream and increase your prospects of building a successful company. So if that sounds good, today we're talking about a few things that might help in your efforts to succeed, because it's a very complicated thing, quite honestly, but we can simplify it. The power of consistency is critical for that recipe, incidentally. Being consistent is often the difference between getting results and giving up prematurely. At the same time, many people remain committed to the wrong things. Making the same mistake repeatedly without different results, that's madness. Procrastination is often the main reason people fail to be consistent. Ironically, procrastination, it's a habit that inhibits people from moving forward. Being consistent is also a habit that produces positive momentum commensurate with success. Consistency is the culmination of choosing to be committed each day with actions that lead to positive direction. Paradoxically, it doesn't have to be all-consuming. Many people believe consistency requires intensity, and the notion of missing a step becomes synonymous with catastrophic failure. When attempting to improve our ability to be more consistent, we need to reassess our relationship with fear and procrastination. It starts by appreciating self-improvement, which requires patience, persistence, not perfection. So here's 7 things that we can implement to become more consistent in life. Let's have an epiphany. And what I mean by that, once we have the epiphany that we are creating many of the obstacles that prevent success, we develop a healthier attitude about the process of succeeding. We learn to fall in love with routine and accept the journey is arduous and erratic. When we venture off the familiar path, the adventure becomes more alluring and unpredictable, too, by the way. Once we wake up to the fact we need to develop mastery and it takes patience, we embrace the long-term perspective of success that provides patience and perspective. Time. A common complaint for people struggling to improve at anything: I don't have time. And that's seldom true, by the way, and often an excuse for not doing the work required to succeed. We have limited time each day, no question. And the number of minutes we squander on insignificant distractions, it's mind-boggling, and it's our fault. Once we decide to take something seriously, there's always time to make it a priority. Being consistent requires making time for what matters most. Start. Many people become obsessed with the enormity of any big commitment. Every expert was a beginner at one point, though. Failing to appreciate the effort and commitment required to achieve mastery neglects the decision to get started and earn our accomplishments. The process of starting creates massive momentum that accumulates into daily decisions that support our dreams and improves their potential of materializing. Clarity. Without clarity, many people meander through life without conviction and concrete direction. Life becomes the product of good luck and a propensity for high-risk endeavors, by the way. Without a clear picture of what we hope to accomplish and how we plan to achieve it, we are relying on hope and a good future to ensure success. Being consistent, good at anything, by the way, requires clarity, conviction, focus, and hard work. Progress. Momentum is our greatest asset for becoming more consistent. The process of doing something consistently creates inertia that drives motivation and success. It also is important to realize momentum can shift and that requires a response to correct our course of action. Making progress doesn't mean our momentum will never be interrupted. Confronting adversity and overcoming those obstacles requires flexibility and agility. Keep moving in a positive direction, even when that path is altered just a bit. Non-judgmental. Most people are incredibly critical of themselves. I've been guilty of this myself. We can't make progress consistently if our standards of perfection are holding us back. We need to conduct a more positive conversation with ourselves to improve our ability to succeed. Let's not confuse this by showering ourselves with undeserved approbations in the spirit of positive affirmation. Resist the harsh judgment, though, and give ourselves some grace. Less judgment is important for maintaining a positive attitude about being consistent. Realistic. Many people have an unrealistic relationship with success, and that prevents the momentum of being consistent. When we maintain this romantic idea of success, our expectations are unrealistic, and that encourages frequent setbacks and disappointments along the way. Being consistent demands having a realistic attitude about success. The average millionaire takes 7 to 15 years to build their wealth, and it takes hard work and dedication. The idea that most people get rich quick simply isn't true. It's false. Being realistic requires a consistent plan to achieve our ultimate objectives. So we touched on today some things that will put things into perspective on our path towards succeeding and achieving our goals and dreams. Share your thoughts in the comments section. And as always, we encourage you to stop by aos.academy and in the process, subscribe to our podcast here if you like the things we're talking about. I'm Steve Wohlenhaus. This is Anatomy of Success. Until next week, let's stay focused, let's stay positive, and let's stay optimistic.